The European Union, one of the most successful and well-known organizations on supranational level, consists of 28 European member states, primarily located in Europe, with an estimated population of about 513 million. The EU has developed an internal market and standardized system of law. But most importantly, it has brought Europe peace, although it is a continent that has been characterized by conflict and war for centuries. Why was the European Union founded, and what did the EU reach since its founding in the aftermath of the Second World War? To find an answer on these tough questions, it is crucial to analyze European history. Since the beginning of the 20th century, Europe was under a spell of contrast and conflict, eventually leading to the First World War. In the interwar period, the peace treaty signed after the First World War turned out to be very disadvantageous, and the Great Depression, a severe worldwide economic depression during the 30s, took place. The tension in Europe mounted again. Under leadership of Adolf Hitler, German forces invaded Poland, and this invasion of Poland in 1939 led to the start of the Second World War. Again, Germany lost the war. Again, Germany was fully blamed for all losses and all damages. The first half of the 20th century was clearly one of the bloodiest and most terrible periods Europe had ever seen. During the First World War, 10 million soldiers and 7 million civilians died. 20 million people got hurt. During the Second World War, 65 million people died in Europe. Everyone agreed on the fact that such wars must be prevented in the future. The United States desired a united, peaceful Europe. To achieve this goal, the US started its Marshall Plan, officially the European Recovery Program, in 1948, to aid Western Europe, in which the US gave over $12 billion in economic assistance to help rebuild Western Europe. After the end of World War II, the goal of the US were to rebuild war-torn regions, remove trade barriers, modernize the industry, improve European prosperity, and prevent the spread of communism.
A fundamental idea behind the removal of the trade barriers was to create dependence within European countries. European countries that are dependent on each other's products are not likely to start a war on each other. A requirement for this American aid was more Western Europe collaboration, and so, on American pressure, the European Coal and Steel Community, the ECSC, was established in 1951 by the Treaty of Paris, signed by Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands and West Germany. This made warfare between the member countries impossible and was the first step in the direction of a united Europe. Later, in 1957, the same countries signed the Treaty of Rome, which created the European Economic Community, the EEC, and established a customs union. Together with the European Coal and Steel Community and the European Atomic Energy Community, aka Euratom, the European Economic Community would become the foundation for the establishment of the European communities. The European Community's goal was to achieve the European single market and introduce one currency for the whole European Union. In 1979, the first direct elections to the European Parliament were held. The revolutions of 1989 resulted in the end of communist rule in Central and Eastern Europe and beyond. With further enlargement planned to include the former communist states, the EU introduced a new level of complexity and discord. The European Union was formally established when the Maastricht Treaty came into force on the 1st of November 1993. In 2002, the euro replaced national currencies in the 12 of the member states. Since then, the Eurozone has increased to encompass 19 countries, and the euro became the second largest currency in the world. In 2004, the EU saw its biggest enlargement to date, when the Czech Republic, Estonia, Latvia, Hungary, Slovenia, Lithuania, Poland, Malta, Cyprus and Slovakia became members. In 2007, Romania and Bulgaria, also former communist countries, joined the European Union. Of the 1st of December 2009, the Lisbon Treaty entered into force and reformed many aspects of the Union. It changed the legal structure of the EU in particular. In 2012, the EU received the Nobel Peace Prize for having contributed to advancement of peace and reconciliation, democracy and human rights in Europe. Croatia became the 28th EU member. In conclusion, it is understandable why the European Union is formed in the second half of the 20th century. It was formed in a damaged lost Europe and turned Europe into probably the most peaceful, wealthy and united continent up to date.